So today I decided to do a small little lesson on cowrie shells. Hey, Sheena Lou. Hey, Juju's Corner. Hey, Brown Sugar. Hey, Chris. So today I was going to do a quick lesson on cowrie shells and their magic and all that good stuff. And these are cowrie shells for those who don't know. These. I am having a great day. Thank you. I'm having a great day. Yeah, like the color change of the hair. I thought I would get with the season of autumn that's coming, and I haven't colored it in a few years. So I just thought I would do something different. And it's kind of ombre. You can't really tell, but it's kind of ombre. But anyway, good afternoon. It's not about the hair. It's about the message and the lesson. Thank you. And so today we're going to talk about the power of cowrie shells. We have the same color. Well, okay, Phoenix, not. Well, thank you. And so, what are cowrie shells? Like I said, these are well, thank you. These are cowrie shells. That needs to be my thumbnail. All right. I'm a little elevated, so excuse me. So there's a sacred power and there's a sacred divination and cowrie shell divination, which is a divination all by itself, just like tarot cards, just like pendulums, just like playing cards, just like cartoon mancy, what they would call it, Bible mancy, reading candles. This is a divination too, and this is old as dirt. Okay. So cowrie shells are a spiritual guidance through Obi and Dilogon or Dilagoon divination, and it's rooted kind of like in Santeria practices and traditions and Yoruba traditions and stuff like that. So a lot of times when things are unclear, especially if you do Orisha readings and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10 they will use cowrie shells and stuff like that to give you answer because it's a divination. So for like generations, practitioners across West Africa, the Caribbean, South America, they have turned to using this particular divination of cowrie shells. Just like bone readers that can read cat bones and stuff like that. This is the same type of thing, like of divination. It's the same type of thing. And so it evolved as a part of like the Orisha and the Ifa spiritual based dysphorias. And so I just thought that I could talk about what the cowrie shells are and kind of teach you something. Again, I always want to do these YouTube videos on something of substance and something that you can learn. It's going to benefit you. Thank you for the hearts. It's going to benefit you and it can help you in learning and in your divination practices because there's more than one divination to choose. So I always want to give the option in the education so you can choose what you're great at because what you're good at might not necessarily be tarot cards and it might not be reading playing cards and it might not be oracle cards. It could be reading bones or cowrie shells or, stuff like that. So I always want to give you some type of substance and some type of education. Hi, Poise and Polish Nail. So kind of like a history of cowrie shells. They're rooted, like I said, in West Africa, Yoruba religion, and it kind of transmitted through the transatlantic slave trade. They traveled across the Caribbean and the Americans where they kind of blended with indigenous and Catholicism beliefs that form kind of like Candomblé and Santeria and our Ifa traditions. Cowrie shells, they're just not a tool, but they're a sacred, they're like a sacred currency as well. Okay. And so both literal and in the spiritual world or the spiritual realm. So they become like a really powerful source of symbolism and like a spiritual insight and great communication. And so some of like 10 aspects of like cowrie shells too, like for wealth. So cowrie shells symbolizes wealth. It symbolizes prosperity in many cultures. Then you have fertility. Cowrie shells, because look how they're shaped, like the inside of a fucking pussy, right? So they also represent fertility and life due to the resemblance to the womb. Then you have protection. Cowrie shells they've been used to as amulets, because this could be an amulet as well, and it protects against like negative energies, and somebody sending something your way and you want to send it back, you can use a cowrie shell because it's kind of like a door. It's kind of like a protective door. Also, it represents divine guidance. Like in some cultures, it's like I said, it's used as a divination culture or spiritual guidance. Feminine energy, like cowrie shells are connected to the feminine energy. It's the power of creation and it's nurturing. Then you have connection to water as a gift of the ocean. They symbolize the connection to water and its cleaning and healing properties. Okay. Communication. So in some cultures, they're believed to promote effective communication and self-expression between you and the Orisha or you and the spirits. Okay. Duh. Thank you, Cassie. Also, they represent good luck. Cowrie shells are considered to bring luck and fortune to whoever wear them. So you can wear them in your hair, or you can keep them in your purse or your wallet. You can throw them underneath your car seat, or you can take it to work, and you can have around in your job. There's also like a status. Historically, they're used for currency, and they represent high status and higher power. Thank you. And also ancestral wisdom, like they're seen to link the ancestral wisdom and the spiritual knowledge of the elders. All right. So kind of like what makes them like so powerful, right? Because they're beautiful. They're beautiful, like treasures of the ocean, treasures of the sea. Okay. So I'm not going to try to make this long. I'm going to try to make it short, but I wanted to teach on another divination other than reading cards and bones and things like that, because there's so many different divinations, and come familiar with all of them so you can decide which one that you want to focus on and you really want to learn and you really want to study. All right. So cowrie shells can be found on altars. They can be sewn into spiritual jewelry. They can be placed into mojo bags. You can do a lot because they fall. However, they fall when they're consecrated. Make sure you pray over them and you consecrate them, because when they fall, outside up or down, they reveal guidance of your past, your present, and your future. So cowrie shells, again, they're kind of found on altars. You can sew them into jewelry. You can place them in the mojo bags. You can also pair them with the Hajan, the conqueror root, or you can pair them with some Van oil, and they could be a protection piece, a protection amulet. Also, divination, OBI divination. They will give you yes or no answers to the questions and stuff that you have. Yes, I write all this shit down and I type it up so I won't fucking forget, because sometimes my brain, it be scattered as fuck. So one of the most accessible forms of cowrie shell reading is really called the OB divination, and it's simple, it's direct, and for everyday questions, and it just requires a yes or no. It's not going to give you a long explanation. It's not going to do that, but it will answer a question with a simple yes or no. And you can ask the question 2 or 3 times in 2 or 3 different ways, and it's still going to give you a yes or no. All right. So how do you necessarily perform them? Oh, y'all can see them. That's good. So how do you necessarily perform them? Right? That's the next question. How do you actually read them? Again, I'm not trying to make this video long, just trying to teach y'all a little something real quick. Do your research, do your study, and you do not have to fucking just listen to me. Go fact check to see whatever I'm saying. I always tell people it's okay to fact check me. I'm not above that. So fact check me. So this OB divination is really easy. It can be done at home. You need 4 cowrie shells. You can get like a mat, or you can get like, they have cowrie shells mats, or if you can use like one of those cloths or altar cloths, you can do that. Or you can even put it in like a bowl, like a coconut shell, an empty coconut shell. You can do that as well with this. And you will need 4 cowrie shells, and kind of like a really nice place that's kind of quiet, and you ain't got kids crying in the background, no TV or anything like that, because you need to be able to hear. A lot of times y'all can't hear because y'all got too much noise around you. Okay. So then you need, like I said, some type of spiritual cloth. Make sure you pray over everything and cleanse everything, because you're going to toss them, on the mat or on the cloth. And then also some type of incense. I don't care what it is, kind of like based off the questions that you want. That's the type of incense I would use. Make it simple. Remember, our ancestors they were not seeking perfection. They were seeking practicality. They were seeking simplicity, right? Also incense, some Florida water, Kananga water, any type of cologne. They consider cologne. The ancestors love those. You should do that. So literally what you would do is you would cleanse the space, whatever you're going to use, cleanse your tools, your incense through the incense smoke. And it's just literally sending it through the smoke in the Florida water to clear your shells. Make sure you do it to the mat and to the space as well. Focus your intention. Like, so sit quietly, ask a question out loud, or kind of like if you're just thinking about it. And just, you don't ask the cowrie shells a paragraph. Like, is he gonna marry me in 2026? And I need to know the month and the date, and if the sun gonna be shining. No, make sure the questions are kind of, why are you laughing? Make sure the questions are kind of simple, like a yes or no. They don't need to be like open-ended where, is he gonna have on that polo shirt I had bought him? Like, don't fucking ask shit like that. Just try to keep it simple. The fact that you asking cowrie shells that he gonna marry you anyway is something else that we will discuss at a later date. But I'm just using that as a reference, okay? And then you're gonna toss the shells. You're gonna shake the shells in your hand, and then you will release them on the mat. And so you will count how many shells land on with the mouth open, and this is considered the mouth open. I'll see, I can see. This is considered the mouth open, or like the back of the cowrie shell. And then this is considered the mouth closed. This is open. This is closed. All right. So the combination will reveal one of 5 meanings. I hope y'all taking notes and y'all watch this and share this and subscribe and all that good stuff. 4 mouths open. What do we say at the mouth open? That means it's the open side. So this would be the open side. And I'm sorry if you can't see it no better than that. That's the best we can fucking do at this time. All right. So 4 mouths open is really called Alafia, Alafia. Okay. So that means it's a strong yes. If 4 are open, that's yes, bitch. That means he is going to ask you to marry him. I know you've been waiting 8 years and you have 4 children. Good holding out, sis, because you're finally going to get it. Now, if it's 8 years and 4 kids later, I don't know if you really should have stuck with it. But 8 years and 4 years later, you might as well hear you've already been there for a long time. So yes, that's a strong yes. Then if it's 3 mouths open, so it might look something like this. So you see how this one is closed. That's considered closed because it's on this side, right? So you have 3 yes and 1 no. if you want to say that. So 3 mouth up is Itawa, and that's Etawa, right? And so maybe or yes with conditions. So you can ask again. That don't mean, so is he is gonna marry me? Bitch, you said yes the first time. Well, is he gonna ask me in the next 3 months? Well, Itawa said, well, maybe. Ask again. Was he gonna ask me in 3 months, 24 hours, 6 seconds? Is he gonna ask me that? I wouldn't ask that, but I mean, you can. So 2 mouths up. Remember, the mouths open. So 2 mouths up is Ely Jiffy. I know I might be fucking this up, but y'all be pronouncing that shit right. Some of you motherfuckers can't pronounce lang lang right now. So do not sit up and judge me on how to pronounce this shit. But it's Ejife. So that's a definitely yes, because it's a balanced fucking energy, right? You got 2 yes, 2 no's. So they consider that a balanced energy. And so a balanced energy is naturally kind of like a yes. Hi. Then if you get 1 mouth up, just 1, bitch, that's a no. Meaning you got 3 turned over and 1 is the mouth is open. So that's, you got 3 motherfucking no's, 1 no, and that's a no, bitch. That's Okaran, Okaran. So that's a no. That means there's a block. There's some type of resistance. That means, nah, baby, you might want to try again. No, bitch, you're not going to marry you. You ain't got that in 8 years. That don't mean go have another baby. Because I promise you, if this nigga, you've been with this nigga for 8 years and he don't want to marry you, hello, and he don't want to marry you, and you got all them kids, he probably not. And the next bitch he get with, he probably gonna marry her immediately. All right. So the next one is 0 mouths up. So like they all look like this. All of those are closed. That is a definite strong no. And it's a strong no with a warning. So you probably want to cleanse them and do it again. Okay? You can repeat the toss, but don't over ask. And a lot of y'all over ask because you don't trust yourself, the process, or the answer that you received. And sometimes we create our own hell because we don't do that. Trust the first answer, that it feels right. Trust yourself. Use your discernment. Okay? I'm trying to see what else. You've been doing it back. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It is absolutely okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn, right? And if you get those bigger, cowrie shells, they're gonna look different from these. All right, they're gonna look different. They're gonna look different from these. So, hi, Faith. So here are the most common questions kind of asked by people, and I'm just going based off the questions that was asked of me, so I thought I would share that with you guys. A question is, can I read the cowrie shells if I'm not initiated? Yes. OB divination with 4 shells is like accessible really to anybody. Anybody can do it, whether you are initiated or not. Okay, just make sure that you're being respectful to the culture. Always be respectful to the practice. Be respectful. Respectful, respectful, respectful. Okay, please be respectful. I'm so big on that. Do you need to cleanse the cowrie shells? Absolutely. Always cleanse your cowrie shells before and after the use, like with Florida water, incense smoke, salt water. You can also use salt water to keep them spiritually clean. What kind of salt water? The sea salt, the kosher salt, hell, even table salt. Put it in a little bottle, shake it up, and you can spray them with it, okay? How often can I do a reading? Well, you can perform any type of reading as often as you need to. But if the question is serious or it's a very emotional question or anything like that, just be sure that you give it time. That you give it time. Make sure you give it time. My camera is really great, but the shit I be going through when it just does close-ups, I didn't do that on purpose. All right. It's supposed to make it go. I shouldn't have threw the directions away. Why do we do that? All right. So the next question, what if I get a negative answer? So if you get a negative answer, remember it's all guidance. Nothing is negative or really bad. It's all guidance. So don't look at it like that. You are not being punished. It's not no forever. You probably need to look at what you're asking for. You might need to rethink that, or maybe you need to ask it in a different way. But trust the answer that you get is the answer that you need. You know how like y'all keep pulling when the tarot cards tell y'all no, and then y'all pull like the fucking tarot card, and tarot dick was like, bitch, I told you it's a no, and you pull a tarot card and you was like, oh my god, this is fucked up. Well, you kept pulling. Don't. It may be a sign that you need to pause, you need to kind of sit back, you need to realign, you need to clear, you need to do a cleansing. Make sure that you do that. The whole point of all of this is to put you in a place where you are connecting so that you can hear the answers that you need. Because that is really what spirituality is about. It's about finding your connected piece. It's about finding what speaks to you, because everything that speaks to you might not speak to everybody else. So it's really important that you work on it and that you work on it within yourself. Another question I get is, can I use the same shells for rituals and divination? No. It is best to keep, if you're going to use those shells for divination, just like the Hajjan the Conqueror root, y'all get one piece and you want to use that one piece for everything. When you get a Hajjan the Conqueror root, you use it for that one particular purpose. And when you want to do something else, you use the Hajjan Conqueror root for something else. So it's same thing applies to cowrie shells. Because it keeps the energy focused and it keeps it pure, and you want to keep these things as pure as possible. Another question is that I get is, which Orisha will use it. If you are part of the Ifa or the Santeria community or any of those African traditions that use cowrie shells as a divination, then remember any of them, all of them. Most of the times when y'all go to a Babalawo, they're going to either read coconuts or they're going to do cowrie shells on you. So let everything speak to you in this process. Let everything speak to you in this process. Just think that these are sacred objects. They're sacred tools. So every time you throw them or you toss them or you lay them out, they're bringing wisdom of your ancestors and the voice of the Orishas and those that came before you. Because that's really important to keep that in mind when you're reading like cowrie shells. And typically get the bigger shells. Get the bigger shells that have the back on them, so that this could be your opening. But if you have these shells, I use it differently. Again, everybody is different. So you might not be doing it wrong at all. MLD Holistic Healing, this is Duchess speaking. Girl, I fucking hate spam calls. I wasted that greeting for nothing, bitch. All right. So, the cowrie shells represent clarity, just like the tarot cards and other divinations. They represent clarity. So let it clarify and trust that answer. So whether you're asking a yes or no particular question, or you're seeking like a deeper transformation, or They will help you, but you got to trust the path of it. And then one thing I'm going to always tell you guys, ask honestly and ask truthfully and listen with your whole heart. Listen with your soul. Listen with your spirit. Listen with your everything. Just let it align and trust. I think that when we do spell work and I think that when we do casting and stuff like that, we're wanting this immediate thing and we don't wait to feel, because it's you got to feel it. You got to, that's how it connects. And I love that for us. I love that for me. I love that part of the spell work. It's the connection part. And I always say that when you're ready, they will give you everything that you need and you will get the answer that you need. You just have to learn how to trust it. You have to learn how to trust yourself. But that's the lesson that I wanted to give, because I said on Mondays I was going to start doing more content on YouTube. And I was going to go back to where I was teaching more. And so I know that I'm a pretty funny bitch and shit, and I say some pretty funny shit and stuff like that. And that's just really me laughing through my pain. It's just me laugh, because I laugh at everything. Not that I be high, but I just in elevated. I've learned that the balance that I need and the energy that I need, it comes through laughter. Even when I'm pissed off, I laugh. Be careful though. But even when I'm pissed off, I laugh. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I really wasn't trying to make it long or anything. I wanted to make it long enough so you can learn something. It will increase more knowledge and more growth. And I just want to show the beauty of the occult. I just want to show the beauty of the occult, because we get so caught up in hexing people and shit like that, and somebody throwing work on me, but we forget how beautiful that this is supposed to be for us. To me, magic in the occult is the only thing that connects you so deeply to your culture and to your ancestors. Don't y'all agree? And if you look at it like that, you won't take it for granted. Don't you agree? You show reverence to it and respect to it. Don't you agree? And I think that's what, because as long as you live and you're practicing these practices, the culture never dies. The magic never dies, because there's always someone that's doing it. And I think for the most part, that's what you have to remember, that you're doing it for a particular reason. That's the legacy. That's the resilience. That's the power too. They've been trusting cowrie shells for decades, for eons. Anyway, that's the lesson. That's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please look at some of my older videos. If you want to book a conversation or a reading with me, I would love to do that with you. Please like, share, subscribe. And I will see you guys later with another lesson, of course, so that you guys can be know-it-alls like me, because I was described as a know-it-all. I guess it's a fucking compliment. Well, anyway, I speak light, I speak love, and I speak many blessings onto each and every one of y'all. Leave a comment. I do respond to them. And that's it. That's all. Ashe.